Well, this looks as good a place as any to set up for the camp. We've been down the beach, ready to set up for tomorrow's assault, but the wind is just way too strong to be anywhere near the beach. So we've come in slightly inland just to check it out. Now, the whole purpose of this video here is going to be to review the Rhino Rack, let's call them rod holder roof rack accessories. Now, they're more commonly known as ski holders and so forth, but as a fisherman, we use these for fishing rods. Now, this review, guys, as you know with On Point, is all gloves off. We're going to tell the truth. We're going to give you our honest opinions, good or bad, no matter how much trouble it winds us up in. Right, let's get into it. Right, guys, so just quickly before we get cracking, this video is no way sponsored, endorsed. We paid full price for these Rhino ski racks, as they call them. As you know, with any of our reviews, we're going to tell you the good, the bad, and the controversial, no matter how much trouble it may get us in, because at the end of the day, this is just our opinion. Now, we bought this particular pair here from Repco in Geraldton. We found Repco had the best price. These are the 500mm ones, which are meant to carry probably 4 to, I reckon you could almost fit 6 rods on them. They retail at $295 is roughly the right price we found them for and what we paid. Now, they've got a lot of good reviews online, but the one thing I'm sort of thinking is, do they really stack up to all these good reviews I was reading? And the answer is, I'm not quite sure. Now, don't get me wrong. They look great. They do a good job. But what we're going to do, we're going to put the camera on the roof and we're going to go through the ins and outs of these racks. Okay, we're going to show you what they can do, can't do, and what the major con is. Now, you want to stick around to the end of this video for this major con, because I'm telling you, it's probably going to be the difference between you purchasing them and not purchasing them. Because I know if I knew, I may have thought twice about getting these particular roof rack rod holders. Right, let's put you up on the roof and let's get into it. All right, so now we're on top of the car. Let's start with the pros, because I think that's the perfect place to start. These rod holders themselves are aesthetically pleasing, as you like. With the beautiful Rhino Rack tagging there, they really do look good. And I know, of course, that a sticker isn't going to make a difference to performance, but you still like things to look nice. The other thing I like to quickly add is these rod holders, as I said, I've done about 20,000 kilometers on this car, and they still look like the day I got them out the box. That's a bloody big win. Second of all, the way that these mount onto the roof racks, they're what's known as a universal fit. Now, universal fit means that these will fit onto almost any roof rack on any car that you may come across. And that's a massive win for Rhino Rack, because that means that they don't specifically need to be for their own bars. Anyone can dip into the pie. That's awesome. The other thing is we've got, they're both held down by 4 bolts. Okay, the nuts underneath are nylock nuts, so they hold well. But the good thing is, with only the 4 bolts on each one, they're very quick to whip on and off the car. Now, that's going to be important for that massive con that I'm talking about. So stay tuned. The bolts they use here are almost like a Torx head. Yeah, kind of like a Torx head. But they've got the spigot running up the center to stop that theft, you know. So I guess it's sort of an anti-theft design, because anyone running around with Allen key standard pack cannot take these off the roof. The locking system on them is brilliant. Every one of them comes with a key lock on it. So therefore, whilst you're in the Carnarvon car park going to get a meat pie or jumping into Woolies to go get your stuff, mate, the locals, they're not pinching your stuff, okay? Or in Geraldton for that fact as well. And trust me, I know all about that. So the key lock is very good, and that's as simple as just a quick twist and she's locked. Once she's unlocked, you've got a little button that you hit and it pops open just like that. It is awesome. So all you're doing is it's a solid little pull down like that. Turn the key and you're locked, open it up, hit the button, and away she goes. And that's it on both. Now that we've got this open, check out this rubber. Now, this rubber is super thick, super durable, and what that means is we can shut this roof rack down on my hand. Hello. And it's not hurting my hand at all. Why is that important? When a lot of the rods we're using today are high modulus graphite, we don't want hard surfaces on that graphite because it causes fractures you can't see and will cause a rod to explode or snap. So by having such beautiful, beautiful rubber here, it ensures that your rods are kept nice and safe. The other good thing with the rubber is, because it's nice and thick and you can see it really dents around that blank there, she's nice and solid. They're not moving. So now you've got a roof rack here that is completely secure, isn't moving, lockable, and away you go. Now, we've covered the cons, and I'm telling you they are pretty good cons, because I don't mind these roof racks, they're holding up. But, here we go. Now, the cost of these roof racks isn't the cheapest on the market. We're looking at $295 on average for the 500mm racks. Now, there is a lot cheaper roof rack rod holders on the market, But whilst they're cheaper, are they going to do the same job? I don't know. I've never ever tried them. So certainly leave a comment in the comments below so I can work it out. If you've used cheaper roof racks and you reckon they're okay, I want to know about it. So $295 is going to be my first con. Not the cheapest, but then again, you are paying for quality. The other thing I will say with the $295 is it does turn a lot of people into just going, well, bugger it, we'll just put the rods in the car. But remember, when the rods are in the back of the ute, anything can fall on them and you can have an untold amount of problems. Now, these here boast 4 rods, and I did say earlier on that you could probably get more in. This is a bit of a con, I guess, not inflicted by the roof rack, but one that you've got to be careful of as an angler yourself. You see, if you really load these up with rods that have got a slightly whippier tip, you are going to have rod tip clash at the front there. So you need to almost make sure that the butts are closer and the tips fan out a little bit. And that's going to help you a hell of a lot. Other cons, I guess, is like, whilst they are fairly easy to get off, they're not a quick whip off. So there are some other makes, ProRack do one, as well as a few others that are very, very quick to get off. Okay, I'm talking super quick. Roller Rack also do one. So they're not going to be as quick as those. Now, here we go. The one major con of these roof racks are rod holders. They suck. And why do they suck? I'll tell you. Because when you're doing 100 kilometers down the highway, because these are slightly higher than every other rod rack on the market, these vibrate like hell. And I'm talking, it's almost like you've got a bass tube in the car. When you're doing 100 kilometers, 110 kilometers into a headwind, they're really a bassy sort of, apparatus. In fact, you need to turn the music up to get past them. Now, if you've got a tailwind, they're not so bad. If you've got them completely loaded with rods, that makes them slightly more rigid, so they don't vibrate as much. But when you don't have rods in and you want to leave these on your car the whole time, these are going to do your head in. I promise you they will do your head in, because they've certainly done mine in. It's to the point now where every time I get home, if I'm not going to use them and we're going to use the car through the week for family reasons, these come off immediately. It's a pain in the ass to have to take these on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. Real pain. Where some of the more low profile ones, like the ones that Roller Rack do, they're a lot lower profile. They don't catch the wind near as much. But as I said, when you do have rods in them, they're more than tolerable and you can certainly get away with it. Now, that's the only real gripe I have with these particular rod holders. Would I buy them again? I don't know. I love what they do. I love the concept of these. I love how strong they are, how resilient they are to the elements. I love how they hold the rods. I love everything they do except for that bloody wind noise. And I'm telling you, I don't know how to solve it. So if you do have a good resolution for that as well, down in the comments, get it happening. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Although I tell you, I've searched high and low and I've got them mounted as does everyone else. I've even left the rubber strips on these roof racks here to try and dampen it, and it hasn't worked at all. But anyway, guys, I really hope that this episode, as quick as what it was, while I've pulled up to this I mean, this has got to be a beautiful little hidden campsite here. Was somewhat helpful to you and will, I guess, help you decide whether or not the Rhino Rack ski apparatuses are right for you. All right, guys, have a fantastic night. I've got to get to setting up. It's starting to get dark, as you can see, and we need to get ready for a big session tomorrow morning with the drones. Right, guys, I'll see you on the next episode. Catch you later.